A personal question for you, and I realize nobody can call in right now because all 10 of our lines are filled with people on hold who want to get in on the topics of the first hour. But I'm going to toss this out here, and maybe as the day goes on, as some of our lines open up, people will toss something in. When I was young, I was in my 20s or 30s. My mother started developing arthritis in her hands, and I did a search on what was then the internet. This was back in the 80s, and it actually was on CompuServe. And I found if you search on nightshade sensitivity, what you'll discover is that there's this whole group of people out there who get arthritis-like symptoms, rheumatoid arthritis-like symptoms in their hands and other joints when they eat plants that are in the nightshade family. The nightshade family is tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, and peppers, principally. And it also, one of the most potent of the nightshade family of plants is tobacco. And one of my relatives has a very bad case of rheumatoid arthritis, and he smoked for like 30 years. And I'm wondering if he's reacting now to all that nightshade exposure. Because my mom, when we figured this out, I suggested this to her, she stopped eating tomato sauce and ketchup, and her arthritis symptoms went away. I noticed the same thing. If I eat a lot of nightshade, particularly tomato paste and concentrated tomato paste, potato concentrate, which is in some gluten-free doughs and things, that my hands start to, it gets hard for me to even close my hand all the way. And, I've shared this with my doctor, who looked at me like I was, Alex Jones. I mean, it's like, really? So I'm curious if you've ever had that experience, or if you know anything about it. And if people who have smoked are more vulnerable to it, because I smoked for 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. I started when I was in my early teens, and I quit when I was 21. And so this might even be something, a sensitivity that you create for yourself. It used to be that nightshade family products were considered poisonous. Then we Europeans started eating potatoes. The Great Potato Famine is a great example of that in the 1840s. But prior to that, 100 years before that, virtually all the nightshades were considered poisonous. And Thomas Jefferson was the first person to actually cultivate and eat tomatoes in the United States. And it was a huge scandal. Here's Jefferson eating tomatoes, and everybody knew that the plant, there is this plant called deadly nightshade. It's got little purple berries, and you eat those berries and you will die. It's filled with scopolamine and atropine, and it's got a whole bunch of different alkaloids that basically shut you down, dry you up and shut you down. And so the assumption was that tomatoes did too, and so nobody ate tomatoes. Well, Jefferson started eating tomatoes, and so now we all eat tomatoes. And so anyhow, just something I want to toss out.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.